against Italy for the last place in the quarter-finals coming up. Welcome back to Dunedin for what may yet be another great World Cup night for Ireland here in New Zealand. 12 years ago, Alan Quinlan made his debut in this tournament. A year later, he played his first match in the new Six Nations against Italy. He's with us this evening.
Good evening to everyone. The atmosphere is absolutely fantastic here. Ireland are the ones the pressure is all on today. Everyone fancies them to win, and for the Italians, they have nothing to lose. It's Cup Rugby, someone's going home tomorrow.
They are a last 8 date with Wales in Wellington next Saturday. Wait to be accepted. Is this to be Ireland's night? Jonathan Kaplan has us underway. Nobody's reffed more World Cup matches than him. Bryce Lawrence and Chris Pollock are Kiwi officials. Ireland, in green of course, have the early possession with the young thruster Conor Murray. What a night for him, just his 5th cap, but so much hope and expectation resting on his young shoulders. It's a brave call by Declan Kidney. There were more experienced options, but Murray was the best according to the coach. And Ireland having to work extremely hard to win that ball back. First feather in the cap of the Italian forwards.
Absolutely, a great tackle there. Rory Best wrapped up Donegal Callahan. They've shown early intent. They look so pumped up for this match, the Italians. Very, very physical team, and we've seen their physicality straight from the off. It's a great catch here. You see Carney, and that's one of his strengths. Fantastic catch.
And this is the area that Nick Mallett has been going on about all week. Anyone who's been prepared to listen has heard him say, "We have the best scrum." Words meant as much for Jonathan Kaplan on the far side as any of us. Let's see. Ireland will have heard those words. That's a fairly decent response, I would have thought. Italy still have possession, but there was real feeling in that first Italian shove. This is Castrogiovanni. Italian scrum half is Fabio Semenzato. Driven forward by Gonzalo Canale. Here's Semenzato again, picked up by Luciano O'Kara. Here goes Quinton Heldenhuis, one of 2 men who have their roots in South Africa, who now have their roots in the Italian second row. But this time it will be an Irish scrum, and you would have been in plenty of packs, Alan, where opposition coaches have been belittling you in the week leading up to it. It only serves to stoke the fires, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think the Irish team, they've kept a low profile this week, not said much. Nick Mallett has been talking up the Italian scrum. Of course, we know they're a very strong scrum, but Ireland will be very, very determined tonight to counteract their scrum, and they showed how good it was against Australia. It is a big challenge, and we see here now from the first put in from Ireland.
Healy, Best and Ross against Perugini, Giraldini and Castrogiovanni with all of their 200-plus caps, but Perugini has popped up there. And Ronan O'Gara, as he might do for much of this match, happy for the time being at least to pin Italy back in their 22. And Italy not hanging around, but a couple of early scrums. And Ireland will feel much the happiest of the 2 packs so far.
Yeah, it's a very good scrum, good response, and Mike Ross has proven that you know, he's had his doubters in the past, and he's been fantastic since he's come into the Irish team. Great scrum there, and a poor enough kick from Ron O'Gara. Very, very disappointing kick from him.
Line out has been working well for Ireland thus far in the tournament. Jamie Heaslett gathers that one. This is Stephen Ferris, non-stop Ulsterman, winning his 29th cap this evening. Ball chipped through beautifully by O'Driscoll. So many aspects of his game are world class, the kicking amongst them.
Absolutely fantastic kick from Brian O'Driscoll. Simple line out one. We see it here, straight to O'Driscoll, and he does the simple thing well. And that's what Ireland need to do tonight. They need to play it in behind the Italians, not make those mistakes in front of them.
First test of Italy's defensive line out. That man Cornelius Funsail 32-year-old surprise inclusion in the squad. Was on that occasion not the first target. It was Alessandro Zanni, who has been around considerably longer. Sergio Parise, as ever, the foreman on the shop floor. Cement Sato, the scrum half, who just might be the man to take over long-term from Troncon. There are high hopes for him back home in Italy. This is Rob Kearney, one of the try scorers in the handsome win against Russia. O'Gara feeding the big man Tommy Bowe, who'd come in off his wing to get involved. Murray keeps it alive. This is O'Gara. Important tackle by Parise. Picked up again though by Murray. Involved this evening, we're told, as much for his physical strength around the breakdown. He will act as a ninth forward on occasions, taking on that blue Italian pack. Earls back inside to O'Brien. Ireland getting some ball time. This is Darcy to O'Gara to O'Connell. Cian Healy, who looked as ready as anyone for this match to start during the anthems. Look of absolute determination on his face during the singing. Bowe, ambitious offload. Bergamasco was very, very close to making him pay for that ambition, and what had been a rather pleasant spell of Irish possession came to a rather dangerous conclusion.
Very, very risky out of Tommy Bowe. Bergamasco nearly catches it. If he caught that ball, he was clean through.
I'm not sure whether you can hear that. We certainly can't. Conversation between Jonathan Kaplan and Chris Pollock on the far side.
13. Number 13. Bring him here, please. 13.
It looks like he's looking for Canale. There's been some incident that the linesman has come in and reported.
So he's taken a man without the ball. He has to wait for him to get it before he contacts. All right, so it's just a penalty for now. Just keep the shape and the discipline, okay?
Well, I think if we can't hear it, we'll work on the assumption that you can't. So whatever Chris Pollock had to say, it's resulted in a penalty for Ireland, and Ronan O'Gara tells Kaplan that he quite fancies having a go for the posts.
We might get to see it again. It looks like it was we see it here. It was yeah, we see it here on this far side. Bit of a scuffle. I think Darcy took exception to Canale tackling him without the ball. Penalty goes in his favour.
Brilliant start. Brilliant start from Ronan O'Gara. He's become Ireland's leading World Cup point scorer during this tournament, and he's just increased his tally to 75.
And that's the start Ireland will have wanted. Declan Kidney will be really pleased with that. He'll want to get the points on the board. He'll know the importance of those penalties tonight, and great start for O'Gara.
A reminder, if you're just switching on, that a draw will be enough for Ireland to go through. Italy have to win. Pressure on both teams, but particularly on the Italians. There's only one route that will get them into the quarter-finals. The restart was a little bit messy, and Ireland will therefore have to face a defensive scrum. Sean O'Brien will take his place in it.
Yeah, he had a lot of time here and took his eye off. I think he was watching Bergamasco coming up, and poor mistake there, gives Italy a chance here, straight from the kickoff.
Just the most fabulous atmosphere in the stadium this evening and around the city for the whole day as well. I've never seen so many camper vans in my entire life. If there was a scrap of spare space in Dunedin today, you can bet your bottom dollar that there was an Irish camper van on it.
It's been absolutely amazing, and I probably sound biased, but there's a sea of green here. There's certainly a number of Italians here, but the Irish have outnumbered them by a huge amount.
Certainly not enough seats in the stadium. 30,000 for all the Irish who are in the city tonight. They will be in the bars packed, watching the big screens and watching Italy try to put some pressure on that scrum, but they will have to reset it. First time really in the match so far, Alan, that Italy have shown us a little bit of what they're capable of.
Yeah, they've shown their intent there. Paris has kept the ball at the back of the scrum, but Ireland's resistance was strong there. It collapsed, reset again. I think it's going to be no surprise. Paris is going to leave this ball at the back of the scrum again, and they're going to go again at Ireland.
Jonathan Kaplan just having a word with Cian Healy, an impromptu front row coaching lesson, talking about the height that Healy is going in on as he collides with Castrogiovanni on the other side. Sement Zato very carefully puts the ball in, like he's returning a library book. Controlled by Parise, penalty for Italy. It's one of those scrums, Alan, where to those who've never had their heads stuck in one, the outcome could have gone either way, but kind of hoping that you as an expert might be able to tell us what went on there.
Yeah, well, I think Perugini seems to have been given some verbals to Mike Ross afterwards. It's massive pressure. I think it's from the tight head side, from Castrogiovanni. We see it here. There's a good strong hit. Ireland look like they can hold it, but on the far side there you see Castrogiovanni. He gets the Cian Healy goes down on his knees, and it's you know, Kaplan has said that Ireland twisted the scrum there, but that's big pressure.
I don't think the cap calls will affect Mirko Bergamasco. He's been around long enough. This is his 85th international. Kind of put his hand up to take over the Italian kicking when no one else wanted to a couple of years ago. And he's not made a bad job of it. Italy are right back in it, 3-3.
Great strike from Bergamasco.
That's been one of Italian rugby's obsessions, as I'm sure you all know now, trying to find a replacement for Diego Dominguez. Not suggesting that Bergamasco is in the league of the little maestro just yet, but he's getting a decent percentage. Restart beautifully taken above his head by Parise. Sement Zato goes high. Earls comes in to gather. Operating in midfield against the Russians in Rotorua. Back on the wing this evening. Carney runs around Mauro Bergamasco. Penalty coming to Ireland. O'Gara chancing his arm with the advantage. Beautiful offload in between Donnacha O'Callaghan and Cian Healy. This is Rory Best, taken on by Heaslip. Murray again, O'Gara, back to O'Brien. And we will come back for the penalty. It was that Mauro Bergamasco who has been picked up by Jonathan Kaplan.
Clearly not rolling away Bergamasco. Kaplan picked it up straight away, signalled for the penalty, and Ireland played a few phases, and it's another opportunity for Ron O'Gara. Good possession though from Ireland there. They look quite confident. They look like they want to build phases. Their game plan tonight is probably to build those phases.
Yeah, if there are nerves, you're not seeing them. They're really building it nicely, putting the ball through the hands.
Yeah, as the guy said in the studio to start, this is an experienced Irish side, and they'll be quite confident coming in here tonight. They'll realise Declan Kidney will have spoken to them about the intensity they're going to face from Italy, and I think from their body language and the way they've approached this game from the start, it's one blemish, I suppose, to scrum, but they've looked quite composed.
off the post. Italy rather desperately hoping that nothing more comes of it, and Gonzalo Garcia was grateful to gather the bouncing ball. Andrea Mazzi, the fullback, quickly shifts it to Bergamasco. Semenzato, Castro Giovanni, running into Ferris. Semenzato, Heldenhays, Roth still recovering. What a collision that was. Alan Quinlan thinks this ball will go high, and all of his test match experience brought him to the right conclusion, but it was very poorly executed by Semenzato. Out on the full, Ireland will have the scrum.
Yeah, and it's a tactic that they've adopted. I think I've watched them in these pool matches. They look to clear their lines with that box kick from Semenzato, and again we see it there, but poorly executed. What a hit from Stephen Ferris though. He's so powerful, that guy, and Castro, another big man as well, will certainly feel that.
Ireland taking the line out. Beautifully plucked out of the hair, and Murray was very nearly away. Best driven forward by O'Connell. Ireland looking very likely whenever they get into the 22. O'Brien again. Murray to O'Gara. O'Driscoll outside, wriggling his way, and tried to ship the ball to Earls. Smuggled the ball to the left wing. But the Italians were wide awake, and Cornelius Fonsale made sure nothing came of it.
Great play from Conor Murray. O'Connell wins the line out. We'll see it here. O'Gara here to O'Driscoll. I think he's running a little bit laterally, tries a little pass to Keith Earls, but the touchline catches him. But great break from Conor Murray off the line out to start all that.
You started off here, you must remain. Yes. You started off there, you must remain. You were. 5, he started, they can't go.
Jonathan Kaplan just making sure that Italy stick with the numbers that they had in the line out initially, and Fonsale and Bergamasco have been forced to go back in, having wandered off, it seems. Gheraldini's got to gather his thoughts. Parise was the choice.
Formation.
Italian line-out was never set, and that's the reason that Kaplan has attracted the ire of Parise.
It's actually blocking off there. I think the new rule where you lift a guy in the line-out, it's been in it for about a year. You cannot go in behind the player and block off the opposition. Hopefully we'll get to see it again, but it's Parise is not happy about that. Van Zyl the same, very, very unhappy with that. We see it here. You see Van Zyl there, he goes in behind Parise there, and that's blocking off. It's a clear penalty in the new regulations. Big mistake though.
Italy not the first to be caught out by it at this tournament. Heldenhays was involved as well.
It was my mistake. It was actually Heldenhays in front of Parise, but Nick Mallard will be very disappointed with that. It was a good win in the line-out from Parise.
On a night when you need a nerve steadier, Roger's your man. Ireland deservedly back ahead in the Otago Stadium, much to the delight of the majority of those inside today. Luciano O'Cara with the restart. First World Cup.
Roll 3!
Look down the Italian lineup, and if you're looking for hope for Ireland, it's that the likes of O'Cara are experiencing this intense atmosphere for the first time, the likes of Semenzato as well. And it really does get dark and grimy later on. Ireland just seem to have more experience. Whether they will be able to make that pay remains to be seen. So far it's been a relatively even start. O'Cara feeding Garcia, taken on by Mazzi. Semenzato there again. O'Cara off his feet. to Castro Giovanni. This time it was Sean O'Brien. Not so long ago, Ferris, now O'Brien. Sato again, chipped ahead by Gonzalo Canale. And wise from Murray.
Very good play from Italy, building the phases. Ireland didn't give away the penalty. Their discipline was good there, but a great little chip through from Massey. Pressure right on Ireland here now.
Ferris and O'Brien are doing the kind of job on Castro Giovanni that you used to pay the mortgage doing. You'd have loved it out there, wouldn't you?
Well, he's their go-to man up the middle. When they want him to carry up the middle, Castro Giovanni makes a lot of carries, and see O'Brien shooting out of the line there.
Parise again the choice. Beats off the attention of O'Connell, but because O'Connell was on the floor, Parise fell over him, and that's drawn the penalty. Ireland's concern is that Italy might get a little bit more out of that. They're still driving towards the line, doing their absolute best to stay balanced, stay on their feet. That's how close they've got. Bergamasco does some shoving. Sato to Castro Giovanni. He's been knocked around early on.
I can't play anymore. No more advantage, otherwise we don't get the penalty.
Massive drive from the Italians there. They had Ireland on the rack. Clearly someone, I think O'Connell fell on the ground, and Kaplan, the referee, indicated a penalty straight away. But a massive drive and a big worry for Ireland there. We see it here. They had Ireland going backwards, and the penalty was already given there, but just held up short of the line. Great play from the Italian forwards. See the carry here from Castro Giovanni, just held up by O'Connell and Rory Best. Big let off there for Ireland.
Needed both of them though. Castro Giovanni was snorting fire.
It all started with Massey's chip through. It was a really good weighted chip. Conor Murray had to put it in touch, and the Italians then had the possession, the line out.
It's not Johnny Wilkinson's favourite place, this, but Mirko Bergamasco is starting to like it. Half a dozen points apiece. And Italy haven't had long in Ireland's 22, but whenever they've been there, Alan, they seem to have come away with points.
Yeah, and they showed a lot of promise there with those phases of play. That'll do their confidence the world of good.
Ball won by Funsale. He was the big surprise in the inclusion when Mallet named his squad, made his debut in the month leading up to the tournament, but here he is. Cian Healy is furious about something, and Kaplan wants to have a word with him. Now, you don't want to jump to conclusions here, Alan, because it's always a dangerous game, but the way Healy has reacted
suggests that
gouging has gone on.
You still can't overreact. So I'd say to the number one, just be sensible.
I know, but
just be sensible, and we get on with the game. If I see it, I will act.
No, but he's supposed to react.
Yeah, there's a mention of some active foul play there. We can't see it here.
Well, eye gouging. Oh, goodness me. Well, that is unequivocal, and it's Giraldini who was at the centre of it. You're often inclined to give players the benefit of the doubt, Alan, because it gets very rough in those kinds of areas, but it's hard to come up with a defence for that.
Well, we'll have to see it again, see what way the angle of the body and stuff, but it certainly didn't look good from there, and Cian Healy's reaction was not a good one. Yeah, it doesn't look good, but the player isn't looking. He's not looking down at him. He certainly grabs him around the eyes. It doesn't look good there.
Cian Healy, more than most, will be aware of the dangers. He's just recovered from an operation to repair an eye socket. He was being tested there by Leonardo Giraldini. Sato to Parise. Italy have quickly made their way upfield. Irish tackling, though, was insistent, and they've won it back. O'Connell scrabbling on the floor to make the most of the tackling, of which Keith Earls was at the centre.
Massive hit from O'Driscoll and Sean O'Brien. Darcy, three-man tackle.
Bergamasco could see what he was trying to do. It's not a match that needed a spark, but it's just been given one.
Well, the Irish looked like they're a bit fired up after that incident there. Massive hit in midfield, and great turnover, all the forwards in, counter-rucking, massive turnover. Great kick by O'Gara then.
O'Connell, the man who completed the turnover. Not directed to him, though. This is Gordon Darcy. Again, stays on his feet. Forwards driving him towards the line. O'Gara taken on by O'Brien. They're doing their best to slow it down as quickly as they can. It's all very tight as Carney feeds Earls, and in the end it was just a little bit too tight.
Great chance there if Sean O'Brien put it through the hands. Ireland had numbers outside. I think the Italian defence compressed to tackle him, but he didn't see it.
Well, if he's showing nerves, Murray, certainly not seeing any. The greenhorn with just 5 caps in a backline that averages 65. That's the test experience he's trying to bridge this evening, but he doesn't look out of place early on. Sato has the ball, and it's been dribbled back to Zali.
You're unbound.
Caruso in the end was
Unbound.
tackled by O'Connell, who was in an offside position.
It's a poor penalty. I think he's saying O'Connell was unbound, comes up to the side. No doubt in his mind, but the Italian lineout has been very good at the start. They've won all their lineouts cleanly. Very impressed with them in that facet of the game.
So they've completed in half a dozen World Cups now. They've never made the knockout stages, so if you think it's a big night for Ireland, it's just as big for Italy. Fell at this stage 4 years ago to Scotland, you might remember, in St Etienne. 18-16 that night. Every indication early on that it's going to be as tight here in Dunedin. Lots of movement in the line out. Zani was the target and they found him. Canale releasing Mazzi. Sato. Italy with a little bit of fizz in midfield, but Castrogiovanni slowed it down as he tried to find Garcia. Castro tried to make the most of his error, and at least make up for it, but it was too late. Ireland will have the scrum from the knock-on.
Great pressure from Ireland midfield. It looked like Castrogiovanni was going to carry, gives a poor pass out the back. Great pressure on the Irish line speed there in defence was forced them into that mistake. Feel the tension here, Nick. It's just unbelievable. The atmosphere, the tension coming from the crowd and the pitch is just amazing.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Anger.
Oh, there's meaning in every engagement. Picked up by Heaslick to Murray. Finds O'Driscoll. Carney was missed out. This is Murray again, tackled by Parise. Bow to Ferris. He's driven back by Heldon Hayes. Murray has to pick the ball up off the turf. O'Gara. This is Darcy. So difficult to stop. O'Gara again. Once again, Ireland trying to find some light in an area where they wouldn't normally be that much. Tight to the touchline. O'Brien bursting through the tackle of Sato, but then losing the ball, and
Tackle and no ruck.
Italy and Ireland for a second engaging in a game of football.
Tackle and no ruck.
Another big carry from O'Brien, but the Italian defence, it's quite solid. They're not coming out of their line. They seem to have their defence across in a straight line across the pitch, but O'Brien, a couple of big carries. He's just so hard to tackle. He runs out over Semenzato. Great little wrap around here from Brian O'Driscoll, Conor Murray. Good covering from Parisa, and that's the strength Conor Murray brings. He's such a strong, powerful guy. We see O'Brien here. I think Semenzato's fortunate enough there. He stands up on the tackle. Pretty lucky there.
O'Brien's from farming stock, I think, isn't he? He likes to say that he's farming fit, a bit like Phil Vickery.
He certainly has farmer strength. He's just unbelievably strong, and he's a fantastic player. He's just had an unbelievable 12 months.
Yep, the European Player of the Year, a perennial breaker of gain lines. Handy position this for Ireland. Heaslip to Murray. Oh, it was shut out in front of O'Driscoll. It's not done much wrong so far this evening, but that was just a little snatched at and asking too much of even the great O'Driscoll.
Yeah, it was a bad pass from Conor Murray, way too far out in front. But to see the pressure coming in the scrum. Perugini there again, getting the angle up for Italy, making it hard on the Irish scrum half. Big pressure scrum time again.
Bergamasco was breathing right down young Conor Murray's throat as well to make the pass even more tough.
Just an interesting point. I'm not sure Perugini's scrummaging legally there on the Ireland ball. His hips seem to come out every time. He's kind of running around in and Mike Ross, so it's something that Jonathan Kaplan will have to watch.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He's not comfortable.
He's a tough old warrior though, Perugini. Very resilient, tough, very strong, abrasive player.
His 83rd cap. Rough introduction to Test rugby against Ireland, actually, 11 years ago. Heavy defeat at Lansdowne Road. He didn't take long to recover from that and has been terrorising most front rows ever since. The Italian #1, closest to us. He's being given a tough ride there, though, by Mike Ross. Until he get the ball away with some relief through the skipper, Parise. The last half a dozen breakdowns like that, Alan suggested with a little motion of his finger that the ball's going to go high, and it hasn't so far. Maybe it should have done, because Ireland have won it back, and this is O'Brien gets the ball away to Bow, but the whistle has gone. Bow thinks he's scored, so they're close on 30,000 Irish men and women, but a South African thinks otherwise.
I'm not sure about that. I think Tommy Bowe moves the ball forward in the air, but regathers it. To me, that's not a knock on. Whether he thought the initial pass, the flick out from Sean O'Brien was forward, we'll have to see it again. Great turnover from Jamie Heaslip, though.
Let's have another look at this.
See Heaslip in here, great body position. He's so strong in that position. Wonderful turnover for Ireland. O'Brien again running out over O'Cara. See it here. To me, that's a try. I think Tommy Bowe holds on to the ball. The first pass was not forward. I think it's a bad call from Jonathan Kaplan.
Never miss an opportunity for a good old man hug, though, and whether it was a try or not, those two mates have just got a little bit closer.
Never missed an opportunity to give out about the referee either.
Your point about Semenzato and the box kick, though, is an interesting one, because on a number of occasions you've anticipated the kick, and on every occasion Italy have actually tried to run it out of their defence, which in hindsight was not the right decision.
Yeah, they're playing a couple of phases. He looks like he's setting up for that box kick. I think they want to try and clear their lines, certainly play one or two phases and get out of the Irish, get out of their own 22.
Very quickly, we're into the final 10 minutes of this first half.
Touch.
Ireland need at least a draw to set up the date with Wales in Wellington in the quarterfinals next weekend. Very, very handy Irish scrum again.
Hello, Church.
As much as Italy will have possession again, Giraldini knows that this might be a very long evening if things continue in a similar vein.
It's massive pressure in there, and Rory Best is a really, really strong scrummaging hooker. He's probably much stronger than Giraldini. The strength of the Italian pack are the two props, but I think Rory Best is very, very strong scrummager, putting huge pressure there.
Ireland pitching to do something no Irish side has ever done at a World Cup and win the pool. What momentum that would give them going into the last 8. And they'll need it. Wales were outstanding earlier. Free kick to Ireland, all as a result of the pressure that's been coming through the scrum. Murray doesn't hang around. This is Darcy, held up by Cement Sato. O'Brien was there quickly to add his weight. Murray, oh, he needed to work hard, and Zani has it.
It's a bad turnover from Ireland.
Let it come down.
Shoulder-headed Fabio Cement Sato to the newly mustachioed Andrea Mazzi. And then by Bow on halfway. Carney back to Bow. Hit by Parise. Murray to the hooker Rory Best, the Ulsterman, 53rd cap this evening. O'Connell thrilled to be involved in the World Cup a year or so ago. Wasn't sure as he struggled with an infection. O'Driscoll, ball back inside from Darcy, looking for Carney. Penalty to Ireland. It's been a very good 5 minutes for the Irish.
Far side, not you, not you.
I agree with you. The penalty. Be careful with the guys.
Cleaning, okay.
It's Heldon Hayes not rolling away. Great break there, great pace put onto the ball by Rob Carney. We see it here, the tackle. Heldon Hayes makes no attempt to roll away. Carney can't place the ball. Massey, what he's doing there is quite legal to come in there, and you know the Italians are a bit frustrated by it, but clearly Heldon Hayes didn't roll away.
Yeah, bring him on.
Problem still for Castro Giovanni, and Andrea Lo Cicero is coming on much earlier than expected. And whether that was hit somewhere in the open or as a result of what's been going on in the scrum, either way, Martin Castro Giovanni's night is over, and so Ireland hope it is World Cup. They'll be ahead if this goes over.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I've seen the Italians take him off before, bring him back on.
Well, if he does come back on, he may well be coming back on to a scoreline that has his team behind. Third penalty from Ronan O'Gara, bearing down on half-time. Ireland 9, Italy 6. So the way Castro Giovanni is ambling off doesn't suggest that he's overly keen to come back on, I have to say. And he's taking his place down on the bench rather than heading to the tunnel. It looks like he's clocked off. And O'Brien is still very much on the work floor. He gathered the restart, but second time in quick succession at the breakdown, Ireland have been a little bit loose and Italy have profited again.
Certainly loose there from Conor Murray. Not really sure what happened, but clearly knocked the ball on according to the referee there, and it's a big mistake straight from the kickoff again. That will really frustrate Declan Kidney after scoring.
Italy with the bulk of possession.
Touch.
Ireland with the bulk of points.
At the back.
Italian free kick.
Come again.
Parise says we'll put down another scrum.
Yeah, and they'll look for a penalty off this. I'm sure Parise will try and get the Italian scrum going forward there and try and get 3 points.
Outside here. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Haggard.
Good shove from Ireland. Great shove.
That's a great scrum from Ireland. You can see the excitement on O'Connell's face there. Magnificent scrum.
One bond.
It's a welcome to this match for Andrea Lo Cicero.
I'm not sure about what the referee is saying there about his bind, but it was massive pressure there from Mike Ross.
Let's make the point that as much as Lo Cicero has come on to replace Castrogiovanni, he's gone to the loose head side, and Perugini, who can play both sides, has very quickly though got to readjust to a very different style of play on the tight head side, Alan.
Yeah, Perugini is he's been there before, but it certainly upsets the balance a little bit for them.
Ireland certainly made the most of whatever imbalance there was in that Italian scrum. Picked up by Bow. Italy have possession, and this is Giraldini. Still got the advantage. Semenzato, and they will come for the penalty.
Yes, he did, but 10.
Fast, frantic, unrelenting.
Unrelenting to say the least. Another opportunity here for Bergamasco. I think it was Ron O'Gara not rolling away. Jamie Heaslip gets the turnover from Giraldini, but O'Gara penalised for not rolling away. See it here, Tommy Bowe. And Semenzato, actually a very strong, powerful guy, strips Tommy Bowe. See Jamie Heaslip here driving through, but O'Gara penalised for not rolling away. He's quite an abrasive scrum half, Semenzato, very powerful. He strips Tommy Bowe of the ball there, and I think in the previous ruck he held Conor Murray up as well.
Again, off the posts. It's happened at both ends now. Ireland retain their lead, heading towards the break.
Certainly a let-off for Ireland there.
Still got a little slice of defensive work to do. 40 minutes are up, however. Terese has taken his fair share of line-out ball in the first 40. Italy ploughing through the green field and still ploughing. This is really impressive. Staying on their feet, having a target. Ireland unable to do anything. Italy have drawn another penalty.
Massive drive from the Italians again. Massive drive.
Leave it. And away, please. Away.
There's certainly no love lost out there.
Captain, please.
Jonathan Kaplan feels the need to issue another warning. Look at the power of the drive from the Italians and the skill of keeping on their feet as well when they're moving at speeds like that. There were punches thrown there. Mauro Bergamasco was one of those firing away.
Yeah, and I think he's cost his team, because the referee is going to change the penalty here, and Ireland are going to get a chance to clear lines, and
Throw penalty.
that's a big mistake from the Italians. And Bergamasco there, he's cost his team here.
I'm not suggesting that an Irishman has exacted retribution, but there's a reason why Bergamasco's on the floor.
Not again.
Yeah, and Parise is coming over giving him a lecture saying, why did you give away the penalties? Looks very disappointed. And rightly so, because it was a great opportunity for Italy to get back in the scoreboard.
That has been a full-on 40 minutes of World Cup rugby. Ireland need to win to set up that date with Wales next Saturday in Wellington. At half-time, they are winning. Ireland 9, Italy 6.
Okay, the jury here undecided, and we're not yet convinced that Ireland have booked their place in the quarter-final, but they're leading Italy by 9 points to 6 as we head into the second half in Dunedin. And we're back with Alan Quinlan and Nick Mullins.
Yes, the organisers of the World Cup's Last 8 club. Still not sure where the final invitation's going to go. Ireland at the moment, and a draw would do for Ireland. But as soon as Italy get ahead, if they get ahead in this second half, then it starts to get interesting. Ireland will hope this second half is quite dull. Mazzi gathers the high kick. Ought to mention, by the way, that the Italians have made a change at half-time. They've taken off the fly half Luciano O'Cara and brought on the youngster Riccardo Bacchini, 23-year-old Roman who made his debut against Ireland in the Six Nations. Saw him having a word and a bit of a hug with Nick Mallett just before the teams came back out. So number 21, Bacchino, is on. And Ireland are giving it a go through Gordon Darcy. This is Bow. Looked as likely as anyone to score for Ireland in that first half. Heasley drives his way up to halfway. Murray to O'Gara, to O'Driscoll. Tried to duck underneath the challenge that was coming from Mirko Bergamasco. His old partner in crime, Darcy, made sure the ball remained in Irish possession. Now again, slaps hands away to win it back for O'Gara. Bow feeding Carney. Held up by Zanni. O'Gara to O'Connell. Fends off Heldenhace. A bit of enthusiastic rucking from Stephen Ferris, and he was right within his rights to do that, because it sounds like Bacchini was stopping the ball coming back, and Ireland have the penalty early on.
Great start from Ireland in the second half, building the phases, running the hard yards. That's the message Declan Kidney will have given to his team at half-time. Keep building those phases and the penalties will come. Be patient, and they've done that. It's a great start. Great carry here from O'Connell, and I think it's Chichero again, not rolling away, blocking the ball, coming back straight away, and clear penalty.
Well, anyone who can recall Lens in 1999, Paris not so long ago, 2007, and those two matches with Argentina will know that when it comes to Ireland and World Cups, it's probably best to take nothing for granted, but this would give Ireland a 6-point cushion. There have been some tough World Cup nights down the years. Every indication at the moment suggests this won't be one of them, but there's still a long, long way to go. Ireland and O'Gara 12, Italy and Bergamasco 6.
Crucial now for Italy. Next score is very important, whether it's Ireland or Italy you get it, but it's very important. 6-point gap.
And the new man Bacchino slaps the restart away. It's been lost. It remains an area of some concern for Ireland. Sean O'Brien, who had the ball stolen away. It's just really the impact that the Italians are having at the breakdown. It's very difficult to look after the ball when the Italians are coming in quite as forcefully as they are.
Another penalty here. Sean O'Brien, big carry again. The ball goes loose, but poor discipline from Italy again. Another soft out for Ireland. And this is what Ronan O'Gara does best. He finds those touch lines, straight down the field. He's a great player to kick out of hand and punish Italy here again.
Right choice for you to have him starting ahead of Johnny Sexton?
Yeah, well, I think it was always going to be a very tight game, and I think he's kicking so far. I think it was 10 out of 12 coming into this match. Sexton was 5 out of 13, so it's a good choice for this game, and certainly they're two great players, but I think O'Gara was the right man for this game.
Rory Best with the Irish lineup. Ireland number 8 is Jamie Heaslett. Played every minute of his first World Cup campaign so far. Picked up by the hooker Best. Taken on by O'Brien. Conor Murray getting himself into a little bit of a green tangle. Needed to be sorted out, and if things need sorting out, then O'Connell is very often the best man to do that. This is Ferris, hauled down by Parise, but that's the Italian 22. Drop goal, O'Gara. And on that occasion,
off target there, but significantly I think Ireland getting a lot of good go forward ball in the forwards. Couple of big carries from Ferris and O'Brien. They're key to Ireland. See O'Gara's effort here, comes off the side of the boot, and
different night, different match, different opposition of course, but it's got a little bit of a Australian feel about this, with Ireland trying to get 6-9 points ahead as they did at Eden Park that famous evening a fortnight ago. Rob Kearney tackled just inside Italian territory. Murray to O'Gara. Doesn't find touch. But it means that Mazzi was having to operate from an acute angle. And in the circumstances, nudging it up towards the 10-metre line is about as good as he could have expected. O'Callaghan, all the experience now of 3 World Cups, 79th cap this evening for the Munsterman, who played so often with the man sitting alongside us this evening, Alan Quinlan, and it was O'Callaghan who set up this latest charge. It's been a great start to the second half for Ireland. They are really looking up for it. Bow charging through, finds the man of the moment, O'Driscoll. It just had to be. It had to be him. Create World Cup moments that are worth recalling. That's what he said ahead of this tournament, and that's what he's doing.
He's such a great player, O'Driscoll. Anticipation of the break from Bowen on the inside, but the credit must go to Gordon Darcy. He made the hard yards off the line out, set that up, and we'll see it here again. Tommy Bowe, he's so dangerous. He gets outside Bocchino. There he is, O'Driscoll on the inside, and we've seen that so often from him. His anticipation is so good, such a great reader of the game. Italy will be disappointed with that, because Garcia gets up ahead of Bocchino, gives Tommy Bowe the opportunity to take on Bocchino, and he's very, very quick there and very strong. Tommy Bowe, you don't give him a gap that big, and he took it there.
Brian O'Driscoll's 45th Test match try, and not for the first time. One of his scores looks like it's about to be converted by Ireland's king of the kicking team. Hard to think how this second half could have started in much better fashion for the skipper or for his country.
We see Bowe here, Garcia gets ahead, and he's so quick there. Great offload and great support play by O'Driscoll. That's huge for Ireland. They've started this second half so well. Italy making a change there.
Yeah, it's a significant one. Mauro Bergamasco has been replaced by Paul Derbyshire. English name, English father, Italian mother. Playing against Ireland now, but that's a real blow for Italy. You can only assume that Bergamasco is injured. He's not a player that Nick Mallett would, you would have thought, taken off by choice.
Yeah, he's come back from a long-term injury, but he's made a few mistakes tonight, a couple of penalties, and I think that punch before half-time, and he needs to change it up a little bit now, Mallet, so I think he needs to make changes.
Bergamasco is going to be 36 by the time the next World Cup rolls around in England. I'm not sure he'll still be around then. Might be the last time we see him on the grandest of rugby stages.
The loose head is switched over to tight head. He has to allow the loose head from the other team to go outside of him. Okay? He's lining up head to head.
Just explain that for us, Alan.
Well, he's given Parise information to tell Perugini, let Cian Healy get his head in between him. He switched over from loose head Perugini, and he doesn't seem to want to let Cian Healy's head in there.
Italy have got to find a quick response. Ireland have the penalty.
And it's all going right from Ireland. You see the frustration there. Cian Healy is loving it, and he's been fantastic for Ireland. A guy who's improved so much in the last year and a half. He's a great ball carrier, and he's scrummaging, and you know, the confidence is really coming out in the Irish players now.
And so are the songs.
And the crowd, yeah. It's unbelievable, the atmosphere here. From an Irish point of view, it's all going right.
O'Connell will be taking nothing for granted, though. He'll be hoping tonight isn't to be his last night of the World Cup. He's known enough disappointment, so is everyone who follows Irish rugby, to count absolutely no chickens until the whistle is blown. Murray tries to capitalise, though, on what has been a great start. This is Darcy going on his own. Darcy needs some support. The tackle came in from Mazzy. It's there. Murray driven forward by Mike Ross. Murray again. O'Gara, so many options. The drive for the line from Ferris. Murray. Time to reset. Healy is the choice. He half slips, but still gets under the tackle of Heldon Hayes. Murray to O'Gara. O'Driscoll feeding it wide. This is Earls, and that might be the moment that the debate ends.
Absolutely fantastic from Ireland. Building the phase, and again, O'Connell is congratulating Gordon Darcy. He's the man who started that all off with a great break. Ireland take it over and back both touchlines. Absolute great play from Ireland, and Keith Earls finishes off with a great try. I've been really impressed with Ireland so far. We see Darcy here, very, very powerful. We've missed that from an Irish point of view. His form hasn't been that great coming into the tournament. Boy, he's having a great game tonight.
The birthday boy. He's 24 today. He was very keen, Alan, that we mention that. He's given us every reason to mention it.
Well, he did remind me today that it was his birthday, and I had to wish him a happy birthday. That's a great present for Keith, scoring a try there. It's fantastic from an Irish point of view.
From an Italian point of view, it's unravelling fairly rapidly.
I think they're in shock, the Italians. You know, Ireland have started the second half so bright.
And now O'Gara is knocking them over from the wide expanses. It's a 20-point lead now. Ireland 26, Italy 6. However, just as a little footnote, Sean Cronin has come on because Rory Best in the build-up to the try was injured. So as we're watching replays of the birthday boy's great moment, Ireland have been forced into a reshuffle in the midst of all that. Sean Cronin, the Leinsterman, beneficiary really of the injury that saw Jerry Flannery home prematurely, is on now as Ireland try to seal their passage to the quarterfinals. Here goes Mazzy. Guarantee Italy won't let this lie. They're not that type of team, but even the great Parise has lost possession temporarily. And the raw from Paul O'Connell told its own tale.
Yeah, you can hear the enthusiasm, the energy coming out of the Irish players. Great tackle from O'Driscoll there. Dislodges the ball here. He's so powerful, O'Driscoll. And Parisa looks a bit dejected. He's such a wonderful player, such a talented player, and he looks a bit dejected there.
Skippering his country for a 35th time, too short now of the Italian record, which surely he will break at next year's Six Nations.
Pause.
Walking around 17.
Italy haven't played like they've had the better scrum. Nick Mallett.
Well, certainly he did a lot of talking during the week, Nick Mallett, and you know, Ireland have really responded, and really good scrum again there from Mike Ross on the tight head side. The Italians penalised for running around.
Worth pointing out, if you are just switching on, however, that they did lose Martin Castrogiovanni fairly early on in the first half. That meant an early arrival for Andrea Lo Citro. Just hearing, by the way, from Gabriel Clark down on the touchline that Rory Best is having ice applied to his collarbone, and the quote is, "It doesn't look good." We will find out what "doesn't look good" means for real after the match, but anyway, Best has gone and Cronin is now into the fray, and this is his throw. And that's not bad for starters, and it's been taken by Cian Healy. Murray, Ireland are in full cry here. This is Darcy. Carney! Gonna have to have a look.
I've got it. That's right. Okay. First question. Sean.
Yes, Jonathan.
Try no try, please.
Sean is Sean Veltsman. There's no great Irish celebration. Instinct says he would have done very well to get that down, but Veltsman will be the one who decides with this, Alan.
It's very difficult to see, no, I don't think he gets it down. Massey does very well.
Yep.
I think he should have passed the ball first of all.
Over here. Thanks, man.
Kaplan and Bryce Lawrence. Bryce Lawrence just telling Kaplan that he's doing a good job. Great to see how the officials work together as a trio, and now with a four, because Sean Veltsman in his box and with his little TV zapper somewhere. But that is fabulous work from the fullback Massey.
Brilliant work from Massey. He's so strong, gets his body in the right position, really low body position there, and prevents Carney from scoring probably what would be the match-winning try at this stage. It would be game over if that was a try. It's all Ireland though, Nick, at the moment.
Bring him on.
More Italian changes, one of them at least. Eduardo Gori, the Treviso scrum half, is replacing Fabio Semenzato, who's had his usually busy game, but Mallett decides to try and freshen things up a little bit. Gori back into the fray after dislocating his shoulder against Ireland at the start of the Six Nations. Still work to do for the Italian defence, because it's an Irish scrum, 5 metres out. Did well to win that back. For a second it looked like it was going to rebound on the blue side, but the Italians are being shoved out and they have won it back. Perugini found himself in a devilishly difficult position, but the ball found itself somehow in Italian hands. It's back in Irish ones now though, with Carney. Murray, though Citro thought he was within his rights to come through. Must have thought Murray had his hands on the ball. This is O'Connell. Tackled by Derbyshire. O'Gara. This is Earls. Already scored one try. O'Brien was on his shoulder beautifully. This is Mike Ross. Murray. again, O'Brien. How much work has he put in those little areas? O'Connell links up neatly with Murray. This is O'Gara.
Should have given that.
Murray can reset it again. Bow to Ulster's Stephen Ferris. To another Ulsterman, Tommy Bow, temporarily playing for the Ospreys in Swansea. Earls finds O'Callaghan, neat hands, O'Gara beautifully done to Heaslip. Murray again, oiling the cogs. There goes. There is a momentum. There's almost an inevitability about this. O'Gara to Carney. Finds Heaslip, but that was forward. That's frustrating.
Just went forward there, but fantastic play again from Ireland. They look so dangerous every time they move the ball. Making great yardage, breaks every time. They look like they can score. It's really, really impressive stuff from Ireland.
Must get his head in, so the other guy.
How well has Sean O'Brien played this evening? The ovation, by the way, is for Paul O'Connell while we're watching the replays. O'Connell is puffing out his cheeks and puffing out his chest and making his way back to the bench.
Yeah, and people are probably wondering why Paul O'Connell is coming off. He came into this game with a hamstring strain. In the warm-up in the Australian game, he had a tweak in his hamstring, tweaked it again last week, and there was a big doubt about him for this game. So it's a very, very sensible decision by Declan Kidney now to take him off, get him right for next week. They did very well to keep it quiet, though.
A word about O'Brien. Donica Ryan, by the way, has come into the second row, but O'Brien he's been immense.
He's been fantastic, as has Ferris and Heaslip. Such a powerful, strong back row. They give Ireland so much go forward.
I tell you, if it is Wales-Ireland next Saturday in Wellington, what a battle in the back row that's going to be. O'Brien against Warburton. I think I'd like to watch that. There's confirmation of the change in the Irish second row.
Crotch. Touch.
Italy just can't get out of their own room at the moment. Replacement scrum half Eduardo Gori feeds a scrum that's becoming increasingly problematic. Elvin Hayes in the white cap protects the kingdom, but the walls are looking very crumbly. Geraldini. How hard Heaslip is working to get over that ball. Actually cleared away by Gori. With no great distance though. Earls takes it acrobatically. This is wonderful stuff from O'Brien again. Every time he gets the ball, he breaks the gain line. Chipped over by O'Driscoll, looking for O'Gara. Gathered in by Parise.
That certainly wasn't the best option, but again, O'Brien, fantastic carry.
Put away by Garcia.
Italy have to try something. They're completely on the rack.
Just hearing, by the way, from down on the touchline, Alan, that ice has gone straight on to Paul O'Connell's hamstring, so it is that they are concerned about.
Yeah, I'm sure it's only precautionary. He's so important to Ireland, O'Connell, and it was very much a sensible decision to take him off. Donica Ryan is a very able replacement. He loved the physical confrontation. Very physical player, Donica Ryan.
How about that from Keith Earls? One side of the pitch to the other, and from one side of the world to the other. The smiles are exclusively Irish at the moment.
Well, it all seems to be going right from an Irish point of view. Their defence is so strong, their ball carrying, their work at the breakdown. They look ruthless here tonight, and they're certainly sending out a statement.
Okay, Bortolami's coming on. 31-year-old captain not so long ago. They need all the help they can get now. Irish 18 is their new man, Donica Ryan, but it was the Italian one, Bortolami, who got up quickest. Just a little bit too soon. Or is the call that they were... I think the call is that they were challenging Bortolami before he was...
Yeah, he was interfered with in the air.
Yeah.
We see it here, Bortolami up, and Donica Ryan grabs him in the air and pulls him down.
And Italy have made the most of that penalty. That was a terrific nudge from Riccardo Bacchini.
They need to get a score very quickly to get themselves back in this game. 19, 20 minutes left. They need something to happen quickly for them.
Ball won by Parise. General acceptance that if he isn't the best number 8 in the world at the moment, there aren't many who can challenge him. Perhaps Kieran Reid, perhaps Jamie Heaslip. He's certainly in the top draw, but there's nothing Parise or anyone else can do at the moment because Ireland just working so hard in defence, Alan.
Jamie Heaslip there gets into the middle of them all, and he's so strong, he's so good at that.
Use it once.
Brilliantly held up.
I'm not telling you halfback, I'm trying to help you, okay?
We hear the referee telling Geraldini that they should have used the ball. Much better resistance from Ireland. We saw the damage that the Italians were doing in the first half of the maul. That's so much better defence from Ireland.
That's fine, I'm happy with that. That's fine, it's good. Straight at him. Crouch. Touch. Pause.
Ireland have this time been hit for the early engagement, and Eduardo Gori gets away with that.
Thank you.
Perugini throws in his tuppence worth.
Number 2. Okay. All right, relax. Wait.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, Don.
Bortolami doing his best to calm things down.
Well, I think they need to be very careful here because
And away.
Jonathan Kaplan is he's not going to take much more of this niggle that's been going on since the start of the game.
Time continues to tick away for the Italians, though. Parise opts for the scrum.
You want to stand that side?
Cian Healy's had a busy night, one way or the other.
Yeah, he has, certainly. Perugini seems to be not giving up on him.
What do Italy have in mind from this scrum? Scrums that have leaked possession, as we can see from that. It's Perugini.
I didn't say anything. That's why.
Yeah. Lounge! Come on! No join!
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Leg it.
It's a real battle between Healy and Perugini. All night long it's gone on, and they're going tit for tat at each other.
I love the way O'Gara just ran across there and gave Healy a little tap on the backside to say, keep it up.
Slide, please. Crouch. Touch. Pause.
Healy again wrestling with Perugini, and it's problems with the bind. See that Healy was never really happy there as he tried to grapple with his left arm, and on this occasion Kaplan says Italy penalty.
Well, I think he was always going to penalise someone there. There was definitely going to be a penalty, and it went to Perugini.
Italy are hinting at a fight back. They need to do a little bit more than hint though, because time is now down to 15 minutes. It's overshot Parise, and it's picked up by the magnificent Stephen Ferris. First World Cup for him. He's lived up to his top billing. And Ireland are trying to bring it away. Not exactly what O'Driscoll had in mind, I suspect. They've taken the line out quickly. Too quickly. It's got to be taken from the place that it went out.
It wasn't his best kick ever, O'Driscoll, and I think it would be more sensible to hold on to the ball here or kick it long. See, it slices off the foot there. And
Ireland are making changes, and it's a significant one, because Johnny Sexton is coming on. There he is, number 21, and he is replacing O'Gara, so it's a straight swap at 10, as we get confirmation that Italy have changed their hookers. Bortolami wins it back for the Italians. This is Derbyshire. He lives in Tuscany.
the two hooded assassins again, Heaslip and Ferris, and O'Brien again with a magnificent tackle on Zani.
Fabio Ongaro, 34-year-old veteran Venetian, losing possession within 30 seconds of coming on. Bergamasco operating now, it seems, at fullback. Bounces into touch. As much as Sexton wanted to take it quickly, he decided against it. Is that a pre-planned replacement, or does Declan Kidney have something in mind?
I think it's probably a pre-planned replacement. I think he was always going to bring Sexton on. O'Gara's done the job for him tonight. Controlled the game, kicked his shot penalties. I think it's a good decision to bring Sexton on now. He'll bring that physicality.
Sexton drove the bus at the start of the game against Australia. Set them on the way to one of their greatest ever World Cup wins. He will end the night driving the bus to what is looking like another famous Irish World Cup win. 20-point cushion. And so far in this second half, Italy just haven't looked like scoring a try.
He'd be pretty keen to impress Sexton as well. They seem to be bringing out the best out of each other.
The wires between Mazzy's brain and his hands suddenly seem to become a little bit disconnected there, and Ireland have the penalty. And this is just frustration boiling over from the Italians. That's the winger, Tommaso Benvenuti.
They look at sixes and sevens there, Italy. They've lost their structure, they've lost their discipline, and you know, Ireland have been so impressive, and you have to give credit to Ireland for that. See a mix up here with Massey passing behind Benvenuti. Clearly takes Darcy out of the play, and it's another opportunity for Ireland. Conor Murray trying to take the ball quickly, and Benvenuti takes exception. Has a little lift but stops sensibly.
20th encounter between these two, and the first at a World Cup. It's 14 years now since Italy last won. And Bologna in 1997 will seem a distant memory to all Italians, particularly if this goes over. If it does go over, then Italy will need more than 3 converted tries. The route to the World Cup quarter-finals is wide open, and Irish camper vans are starting to steer in that direction. There have been some heroic Irish World Cup mess-ups in this tournament down the years, but surely now, Alan, surely now.
Yeah, I think they're home and hose now for a quarter-final spot, and it's no more than they deserve. They've been absolutely fantastic in this tournament. Their big game players have all played well. Darcy, Carney, guys who needed form. They've found form here. Ferris, Heaslip, O'Driscoll is back playing really well. They're big, they're world-class players, and they've delivered at a World Cup. They've wanted to deliver.
We're into the final 10 minutes, and it's getting desperate for Mazzi in Italy. Might already be terminal. Certainly feeling that way. Bacchino, this is Parise. Finds Mirko Bergamasco, who's still in the fray, despite the fact that his big brother Mauro left us a while ago now. Bortolami. Garcia feeding the low-slung chariot that is Gonzalo Canale.
Driscoll again, though, with the power. He's so competitive.
Italian penalty coming if nothing occurs from this. Eduardo Gori feeding Canale again. Another advantage being played. Bacchino to Parise. And they will come back for that second advantage.
No.
Irish player off their feet, and
Not on his feet.
Italy having a real go here, throwing the ball around. They've no choice now. I think the game is... scoreline is too much for them to get back into. They're just playing for pride now.
Lead was just 3 points at half-time. Ireland 9, Italy 6. O'Gara and Bergamasco with the penalties. But it was those two tries in quick succession, rat-a-tat from O'Driscoll and then Keith Earls, that really turned this match decisively in Ireland's favour. O'Gara throwing the line out carefully. Eduardo Gori. If it is to be Italy's night, it will be the most spectacular 10 minutes in the history of Italian rugby. Gori finds Perugini. O'Brien diving over the top, trying to win it back. If it was, he's conceded the penalty. Ireland need to be careful here because Gori's on a burst. He's not the biggest, but some of his bigger mates are trying to push him over the line. They'll have to reset. Bacchino was there as well. Can only be a matter of centimetres, but Ireland have possession from the scrum, and Donica Ryan leads the congratulations party.
Ferris again, just so powerful, wraps him up.
6.
Great defence from Ireland.
1. Sub.
Goodness me, Ireland are making 4 changes. 17, 19, 20 and 22, who are Court, Leamy, Redden and Trimble. And a word about that young man, Conor Murray, just 22, and also Sean O'Brien. They've all been magnificent this evening, and they've come of age at this World Cup en route to the quarterfinals, Alan Quinlan.
They've been absolutely magnificent, and Declan Kidney will be really, really delighted. It's been a really professional performance. There was massive pressure on Ireland coming into this game to deliver, and they've certainly delivered tonight. They've shown their true quality, totally outplayed the Italians.
O'Driscoll's off. The battle's been won. The skipper can come back next Saturday now against Wales in Wellington.
Balance. Crouch.
And if you are heading up there in your camper van, I would leave straight after this match because parking will be at a premium.
Straight down.
And there'll be more and more Irish watching this at home who are just wondering whether they can afford a fortnight in New Zealand. It's lovely and mild at the moment. You won't need to pack your big coat.
Well, if we get any more Irish out here, we won't be able to fit them in New Zealand. There's so many here. Everywhere you go, there's, as you say, the camper vans, the green jerseys.
It's a good point, actually. The cake tin only holds 30,000.
Go around. Back.
What a performance it has been all over the pitch. And a scrum that was labelled as distinctly second best by the Italian coach leading up to this match has been anything but during it.
Very, very dangerous to talk about something like that. As a player, as any player will tell you, that motivates the opposition. I think Italy would be better served, keep their powder dry. Everyone knows they have a good scrum, but I think it only motivated the Irish players. The question has been asked to that front row tonight, and they've responded. They've been fantastic. Healy, Ross and Best and the guys who have come on, they've really responded.
So as it stands, Ireland will play Wales in one quarter-final, England against France in the other next Saturday in Auckland. I think it won't be quiet.
I must say, Castro Giovanni going off was certainly a big loss for the Italians.
Ball cleared away by Sexton. Trimble not sure where it was bouncing. Parise certainly was. So it's often a measure of the man as to how they respond in adversity, and Parise has lost nothing in the reputation stakes this evening. And conceding the penalty. Sunday's quarter-finals, by the way, South Africa against Australia, New Zealand against Argentina.
It's a very disappointing way for the Italians to go out, and especially Nick Mallet. He's been fantastic. He's really brought Italian rugby on, and he'll be very, very disappointed with the performance tonight.
Yes, a new era for Italian rugby starts as soon as this World Cup's over. In the next 4 minutes, Mallet's heading back to recharge the batteries in South Africa. Jacques Brunel, a Frenchman, is hopping on his horse down to Rome. Mallet was popular with the players. He'll take some replacing, and if they do get a try now, it will be for him. Parise, one of his biggest fans. Mallet, one of Parise's biggest. But his 4-year tenure is reaching its conclusion.
Number 4.
Getting very scrappy now. Donegal Callan in from the side in the maul there. Parise has a cut there in his head, and he's going to need some treatment for that. He's a great player, though. He's a guy who's been, you know, fantastic for many years for Italian rugby. Real leader.
It's not the first time Ireland have won a World Cup match in this city, in the southern city of Dunedin. Those of a certain vintage will well recall in the very first tournament in 1987. They beat Canada across at old crumbly Carisbrooke on the other side of the city. Keith Crossan scored a couple of tries that day. In the side, Lenihan, Anderson, Ward, Mullen, McNeil. A good side, but not as good as this one, I suspect, and they might be the first to agree. Donald Lenihan in the stadium this evening, working for Irish television back home. All of them watching this full of pride.
They'll be very proud. I think it's been a fantastic response from Ireland. As we've said, the questions have been asked coming into the game, and they've responded really, really well. All their big names have come out and played really well, and they've been really composed tonight.
And it's not the way that Sergio Parise's World Cup deserved to end. But he has left prematurely 3 minutes before his country will. Line out, won by Bortolami. Is there to be one last Italian thrust of defiance? Might yet come through Heldon Hayes. Not if O'Brien has anything to do with it. This remains personal. Gory, it's all very loose. Ongaro winning his 80th cap, getting the ball but taking a bang for his troubles. Andrea Chitro having to really scrap to hold it back. Jamie Heaslip climbing over the top. It'll be like that in the bars in Dunedin in about 2 hours' time, by the way.
Unbelievable. They're just stopping every Italian attack there. They're just not letting up the Irish. They're so strong in defence there. Italy having a real go, throwing everything at them, and great defence again. They don't want to give up that try, do they? You see Bergamasco taking exception to Owen Redden holding the ball up there. whatever Declan Kidney said to his teammate at half-time seems to... It's been an amazing response.
Well, it was such an energetic start to the second half. The first 15 minutes in particular, when Ireland scored those 2 tries through the skipper, Brian O'Driscoll, and then through Keith Earls. And if you could see Italian air being punctured, then that's what happened. The match really finished then. As soon as Earls went over, I think everybody here and all of you at home doubtless suspected that that was that, and it's proved so. 90 seconds to go. An eternal tribute to Italy. They continue to give it a blast. It's just not working for them though. Had to be swept up by Garcia. Ireland's defence has been immense. How many times have we mentioned Sean O'Brien? The last word though might yet belong to big Tommy Bowe. The ball needs to be kind. Bowe charges onto it, and that is the quarter-final moment. He's not sure. He's not sure.
I think he thinks he was being pulled back. Absolutely amazing work from Tommy Bowe. Unbelievable pace.
Sean, Jonathan, I'd like you to advise me try, no try. In addition to that, look at a check foul play.
You're saying no try and
That's interesting.
Yeah, Tommy Bowe was claiming that he was being pulled back there, so I think that's what he's looking at.
Now the first thing is, did he? No, well he didn't. But was he being pulled back by Tommaso Benvenuti, Alan?
I think so. That's what Tommy Bowe was arguing about. He's tackled early there. That's a penalty try to me.
Yeah, if in the view of Sean Veldsman, the TMO, a try would have been scored without the intervention of Benvenuti, then that can be the only decision.
See it here. He goes early, Benvenuti, straight on top of Tommy Bowe. Has to be a penalty try. Does so well here, Tommy Bowe.
The only question is whether Bacchino would have got across.
No, I think Tommy Bowe was clearly going to score the try there. Benvenuti goes early.
The one thing we can say for certain is that Tommy Bowe hasn't scored. But Ireland might yet.
He's looked so strong tonight and powerful. I think he's disappointed he didn't score there.
Here we go.
Jonathan, just be patient.
Okay.
Not entirely sure why Sean Veldsman needs the number of replays he's asking for. He'll have his reason. It's not going to affect the result in any way.
There was no foul play in goal, and the try has not been scored.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Jonathan, I'm repeating.
Yes.
No try has been scored, and there was no foul play in goal.
Okay, so was the ball grounded?
The ball was not grounded.
No foul play.
Well, the decision is an Italian 22, and it's a rather anti-climactic end to a match that's been anything but, Alan.
Yeah, certainly. It's a bit surprising there. It's not going to make any difference in the score or the result.
Here goes Carney. Flung out. Trimble. Oh, the birthday boy's going to get another. That's the way to go into the quarterfinals. Happy birthday, Keith Earls.
Absolutely magnificent from Andrew Trimble. Great try. The Italians are reacting here in midfield. Ireland just have done a fantastic job. Great play out of Trimble. Unbelievable play. Great score, and he's so happy, Keith Earls. Great opportunist try, and no more than they deserve. They've been so positive all night. The Italians' discipline has been poor. They've reacted, they've been niggly. See the weighted pass here, and Keith Earls has the pace to go over.
Yeah, how well Trimble did, just to wait for the moment, to bide his time. Couple of tries against Russia. 2 on his birthday against Italy, but it was Trimble who set it up. Magnificent Irish scenes, and they are striding towards their date with Wales. Oh, it's been one of those nights. Even from that angle, it's an Irish conversion, a shake of the fist from Sexton. Sum it up, Alan Quinlan.
They've been really impressive, Ireland. They came with a game plan here tonight. They executed it so well. It was very close in the first half, but they came out in the second half, cut out the unforced errors, and just kept possession. They've been fantastic. It's a really, really good display from Ireland.
Ireland have not let the masses down. They've taken the last spot in the World Cup's last 8 club, and next Saturday's quarter-finals will be a long-distance version of the Six Nations. In Auckland, it'll be England against France. In Wellington, Wales against Ireland.